Glory, glory, Man United.
Hello and welcome to Strictly Football, where we are going to be talking about football, everything to do with football, and very interesting topics we've got today. And of course, I am joined by the two gentlemen that will always be. You guys will always be have differences with me for some reason. I don't even see why that is a thing. Anyway, the gentlemen that I'm talking about are these three: Valentine Mabugu, and of course, what's his name? Bevan Sunara. Hi guys.
Hi,
All right, let's start off.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Can somebody explain where Valentine Mabugu is looking at? Where's your camera, Valentine?
I'm in my lounge, so I'm sorry, pardon me for that, because...
You're watching TV whilst we're doing this?
Yeah, I was watching myself on the telly. You know how you want to watch yourself at times, and you don't get an opportunity to watch yourself, so I was watching myself on the telly.
I'm proud of you. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you right now.
There you go. Now we can focus.
Yeah, now we can focus.
Strictly football, please.
Right, let's start off with Ndiraya and Ndiraya, guys.
Right.
Simba Bhora on top of the log.
Wow.
Albeit by a point. It's a point, isn't it?
I'll give it to Bevan. I think when the season started, or before the season started, he did mention the quality that they had, but I never believed that, at this time of the season, they'll be where they are today, at the apex of the local league. And kudos to the job that Ndiraya and Ndiraya has done, building a solid foundation. Not easy for him to start with, putting together these big names and making them click, as it were, and it looks like they're gelling at the right time. And I have to give it to them that they've made what's a nice stadium, a fortress. They're difficult to beat there, and they're a tough side to beat. And again, Ndiraya, we always known him to be very solid. I think he picked it up from Sunday Chidzambo or something like that kind of play and solidness, and him being a gritty defensive midfielder during his playing days. I think that has also inspired him to, make all his teams solid like that. Yeah, they sometimes play boring football, but effective nonetheless. Look where they are.
Ndiraya and Ndiraya, coach of the month, on top of the log. Bevan?
Yeah, well, I think it's well deserved. If you look at the results are speaking for themselves, innocent. There's been consistency when it comes to Simba Bhora. And I was privileged to be at Wadzanai Stadium when they were playing Yada over the weekend, and you could see, what I particularly liked is how they've managed to get a buy-in from the community. It's a team that they feel is their own, is their thing. They relate. There is good rapport between the team and the fans, and these are guys that are singing from the first whistle to the final whistle. I'll tell you, in that game, it started off like a house on fire, the game, and you had Simba Bhora threatening, then Yada also threatening and all. Then Simba Bhora scored. They began to manage the game. Then it got to a point where Yada had seized the impetus, but it was the 12th man that brought back Simba Bhora on the top. So like what Val alluded to earlier on, to say that they have managed to fortify Wadzanai Stadium, I think that is the bedrock upon which they can lay a serious challenge on the title. Yes, they may be sitting on the summit, but I think it's around 12 games to go. I think it's around 12 games. So there's still a number of games to be played. But if they continue in that vein, to say no team is going to leave Wadzanai Stadium with 3 points, as is the case obtaining up to now, it will be good for them. And the other plus is that FC Platinum, the ones that they are contending with, who actually travel to Wadzanai Stadium, so that is still an advantage on that is Simba Bhora. But I must say, if you trace back the teams that Ndiraya has coached. He needs time to build teams. Even the other teams, even if you look at wherever he left, the teams will continue then to, they will succeed even after him because he would have laid a good foundation. You talk of Ngezi, you talk even of Dynamos. There was some degree of success, but he has been unfortunate rather in the past assignments and engagements. But if Simba Bhora now are going to be patient with him, I think they are going to move mountains because look, this is a side that they assembled this season, and it takes time to build a team. In the initial stages, it was a collection of quality players, but now you can tell that it's a team. It's gradually becoming a solid entity, and they are picking form, and they've picked form at the right stage. It's good, and I also like the depth that they have. They may be found wanting a bit when it comes to forwards, but generally elsewhere they are a solid side, and they've got colorful characters like I particularly enjoy how Vasily Kawe then relates to the fans. It reminds me a bit of Mrape in his playing days. How to control the Vietnam end, Tapiwa Kapini, how to control the Soweto end. It's just one of those things, but it in general, or maybe in a nutshell, you're looking at a side that's now gelling, and it's gelling at the right time. And if they continue in this vein, like maybe I predicted before the start of the season to say Simba Bhora is the dark horse of this season, they may actually live up to that tag.
Dark horses, yes, they might be dark horses. But what I've noticed is that this Premier League is really unpredictable, gentlemen. One point we had Manika Diamond on top of the log, right? Then we had FC Platinum on top of the log. I think at one time Highlanders were on top of the log. Yeah. So
and it has exchanged more than 5 times. And come to think of it, you look at how also Ngezi Platinum Stars have been picking themselves up since the 10 of the season itself, where they started picking up good points and they find themselves in contention for the title. So it gives you how all the teams in there, they're beatable, yes, but they can win games and still have a shot. Highlanders are back in contention after their victory over the weekend over Chikutu Pirates, and they're in contention now for the league as well. And of course, we saw if Dynamos they lost, rather they drew at Bulawayo Chiefs. If they'd won that game also, they would have been in contention as well.
Contention of what?
Of the title.
What?
Looking at
which title is that?
Looking at where the season is, Bevan, all teams they still have equal chances.
No, Val, I disagree. I disagree.
Guys, the gap is just 3 games.
I disagree,
12
Val.
points.
I disagree.
12 points.
Look at the teams that are occupying
That's
the
what
top
I'm saying.
spots. Listen.
What did I say? I said if Dynamos had won,
even if they had won,
if they had won against the
Bulawayo Chiefs,
how many points would they have had?
Listen.
Let's answer that first.
That aside, they'll have 3 more points than they have now. But here's the thing. The other teams that are occupying those top positions, they are very organized, Val. Those teams,
Wait, are you saying Dynamos is not organized?
No, you can never juxtapose organization in Dynamos.
But
Dynamos.
Have they not organized a group of
wait
to make sure that they win the league?
Can I give you something of a fact?
All right,
as a matter
tell
of
us
fact.
what's your fact?
Before the game against Bulawayo Chiefs,
yes,
do you know Dynamos had identical, trend of the last 8 games, same as Highlanders. Identical. Everything is the same. Draws, wins, points, everything the same. So you look at that and you say to yourself, okay, yes, Dynamos, the problem that they've had this season is not converting enough of the draws into wins. If they had converted most of those draws into wins, they'll be sitting at the apex, but they haven't converted those. So you look at, the thin line. You look at where even people might talk about fading Giants, Caps United, but look at what one win does for them. At one point, they were 13th, and they win one game against FC Platinum, they find themselves 9th or 8th or somewhere there. So you look at how important 3 points is going on each game. So this gives you a pointer that this season,
Valentine.
It's
Valentine.
interesting like that.
You brought
They're going to be an exchange of log leaders over the time. I think we haven't seen enough of it. Simba Bhora is sitting at the apex.
Valentine.
Next week, Simba Bhora might lose against Dynamos, and
then Dynamos are on top.
No, Dynamos will be back in contention.
For what? Top 4.
What contention are you talking about?
It's not in contention for anything.
They're in contention for everything.
Nah.
Listen, guys, before we
So
go
you
any
say
further,
Islanders are not in contention?
Well, Islanders is not Dynamos.
It's not
I'm
Dynamos.
talking about Dynamos.
and Islanders doesn't have a Gucci of anyway. Anyway, if you're watching this live on ZBC TV, please give us your contributions to us. Do you think Simba Bhora, or if you're like Valentine, think Dynamos might win the league? Please tell us. We've got Vivian Mafunga who says Chinu Chedu go Buju go. That's Chinu.
Yeah, Chunjao Chakaipa. I'll tell you. You see, you know, if you look at all the teams that have won the Premiership over the past years, there's one aspect that probably they ride on. It's either they're not losing at home, or they're not even losing it away. Like their away matches rather.
I love how they've made, an intimidating place to be, even for referees.
Yeah, wait, what are you saying? Vivian came back and said, Mwadzanai Stadium, apana no Buddha.
Exactly.
Like, Valentine is saying,
even the referees are
Abudi.
It's scary to be there.
Apparently,
Ask Islanders. They'll tell you.
Apparently, it's
Ask Yata, they'll tell you.
apparently. Don't say it as if anybody who gets out of that stadium and was the same. Nobody wins there. But here's the thing. I've heard the statement, a lot when I visited Shamva. They will boldly declare nobody, is going to win. But I don't want to lie. I didn't see anything to suggest anything that's outside of football. What I saw was Simba Bhora. They just have strategies to say they will score, they will manage the game. You are not going to disturb them there. And part of their management of the game, you have to be strong when you play against Simba Bhora. I'll tell you, because they have got a very brutal midfield. When it comes to tackles, they can be very crunchy, they can be very physical. They make it very difficult for you to play. And I feel they are in with a very big shout. I don't think Dynamos that Val is talking about can really. I think maybe in the next years, not this season, because you look at there is FC Platinum, there is Simba Bhora, there is FC Platinum, there is Ngazi Platinum, there is Islanders. I'm not talking about Manica Diamonds anymore.
Well, the coach was busy with the national team. He'll pick himself up.
I got you.
He'll pick himself up.
But looking at Simba Bhora, for me, they'll remind me of that Greece winning team, winning the Euros. Remember?
Yes, smash and grab.
And when they score first, Javaran.
It's done.
It's done.
We're going to.
The least you can do, or the most you can do, is get a draw.
But you know what at least what I appreciate, it's different to a certain team in the Premiership, when you know that when they score, if this is second half, because they usually score in the second half. So when they score, out of the 45 minutes that are allotted for the second half, you are probably going to see 20 minutes. The rest, there is no football.
Which team is that?
Wait,
there is a certain team in the Premiership.
No, let's name it.
Name the team.
Let's name it.
Val, you know it.
I don't
want to assume.
I don't.
You know Val. I'm not going to say
Val. Yes, Val might know, but I don't.
I know our viewers.
Help Innocent to understand this.
I want to understand which team is this.
Ask the viewers, they will tell you. That team in Harare, that say if they score in the second half, you're not going to play that half. You play basically 20 minutes of the 45. You play 20.
The students would have escaped class, isn't it?
That's Val. I don't know. I don't know what Val is saying.
All right,
it's not me. It's you.
All right. Let's talk about ZIFA now.
Oh yeah. We need to.
Let's talk about this guy.
The coach.
No, Lincoln.
All right. We see, even his name is confusing us. So is our football in all confusion so far. And I hope these guys are not buying time and trying to, trying to, get another extension of normalization committee period. Because I feel, because I ask this and I always ask, what are they doing? What is being put in place for the roadmap for us to go for the elections?
Wait, we've got a roadmap?
We should be having a roadmap because their mandate is to create a conducive environment for proper constitutionalization of ZIFA, where, the systems are in place that support and prevent corruption of our football. And also setting up parameters that allow for a smooth transition to a normal system where the ZIFA executive runs our football in Zimbabwe. We can't be having our football being run in Switzerland. We want our football being run right here in Zimbabwe by Zimbabweans for the good of Zimbabweans with Zimbabwean interests. And now the challenge that we're having is when the SRC decided to meddle into our football and dumped us.
Somebody has a bone to chew with the SRC.
Indeed, I still have a bone to chew with them.
What did they do to you, man?
You know what they did?
What did they do?
They destroyed a generation that I'm not going to forgive them for because of selfish reasons, not for football reasons. And that's where I'll say they killed a generation. And they should be held to task for it. They might escape it now because they've washed their hands out of it. And they're saying, okay, this time I'm not going to interfere. Yet they interfered, all right? And when you interfere, when you decide to interfere, you should show your hand as the watchdog or the custodian of Zimbabwean football or playing that watchdog role on behalf of government or for the state. So I feel that what the Mutasa-led executive was a rich rush, committee that was put together, failed from the start, and being given another opportunity with others plugged out of the system, and 2 plugged out, and 3 remain. And let's see if they're going to get the movement that we want. Because I'm saying, if their term expires without reforms being put in place for our football, why did we get ourselves suspended for all this long and put our football in doldrums for all this long? What is it worth? Because for me, if it doesn't happen, I'll bleed to death. But what I'm saying is, yes, we have done it. It's done. It's water under the bridge. But let's put our football right. And what are we doing? We're not even getting the right signals. Sometimes you need indicators to say, okay, this time around we are dealing with how the electorate is going to be composed of, that is going to elect ZIFA officials into office. What was the challenge before that allowed, according to the SRC, when they suspended non-football people or incompetent people or people that are not serving the interests of the nation or football in Zimbabwe being into office? And how do we protect and safeguard that as well? What is the role of former players? What is the role of affiliates like the PSL and so forth and other teams? What is the role of government in all this? What is our sports policy saying in all this? Because these are things that we need to align for us to have a robust ZIFA running our football in Zimbabwe for the success and of this nation, because it's a nation that is soccer crazy or football crazy, if you like. And we always rate ourselves highly as well, and we are starved of that success, and we believe that there's always that little something that lacks within our football stance that we haven't achieved, that we feel we need to be achieving in that spectrum. So I feel the Normalization Committee is letting us down, and they're not moving with the right speed that we intend. Yes, they are appointing coaches and so forth, but that's not what we are worried about. What we are worried about is the constitutionalization of the Zimbabwe Football Association.
If you ask me, Val,
wait, that was just 5 minutes of Valentine ranting. Can viewers just have a breather?
Sorry,
right,
guys.
Ian,
I just said to
Ian Vambi.
I'm pain.
Who just happens to be a classic 263 presenter.
Mm-hmm.
You're proud of yourself, Valentine?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. Cool. Says this year it's good. Ours, Boso.
Boso.
Mm-hmm.
What's theirs?
The title.
Kabami kancane.
Oh, did.
Ian, my brother.
Mana ho.
My brother.
You can't do gaga.
My brother.
Oh gosh.
My brother.
Don't.
Hold your horses.
Yeah, it's whatever you're drinking, mate. Whatever you're drinking,
put it aside.
Put it aside.
Put it
Okay.
aside.
Okay.
Take a deep breath. Thank you.
Vivian
Not this season.
Vivian Mafunga again. Thank you, Vivian, for joining us. We appreciate you. Says Bosa itoresha chinu pashamba. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back to ZIFA.
Lincoln. I was going to say, I think now FIFA is complicit now.
Mm-hmm.
It's
they're allowing it.
Yeah,
they're allowing this to happen.
Because I'll tell you, in the first place, yes, VAO can attribute everything to SRC and all, but we also need to look at the hand that FIFA has in all the problems that we have So at the end of the day, we cannot absolve them of totally of blame they have. But now in the current setup, I will put a major part of the blame on them. Why? Here is a normalization committee that they knew of, that they were supposedly monitoring, and that came into office with a specific mandate to make way for the holding of elections. They were supposed to normalize things and make sure that the roadmap for the holding of elections is clear and is met. These guys dismally failed, if the truth be told, because everything that needed to be done in terms of the roadmap, nothing was done.
Not according to FIFA.
You will get there. Instead of making way for the elections, they were busy now performing duties that are supposed to be performed by a substantive ZIFA board. Because if I got FIFA right via their representative, with Solomon Dege, when they were introducing Zimbabwe back onto the international platform, they told us that the mandate of these guys was to make sure that a roadmap is brought up that will lead to elections. And there was a period within which these guys were supposed to have accomplished that. Then, when you are given key result areas, Innocent, and you fail to deliver, we need to assess and say, okay, you were supposed to achieve such and such and such over such and such a period, but you failed to do that. What is it that they think? No disrespect to the current chairman, but what is it that they think this time around is going to change? And what is it that is going to introduce that he failed to introduce in his first 10 months in office in his tenure? So what is it that they think he has learned that is going to change? Because at the end of the day, what we are looking at is not the appointment of the Warriors coach per se. What we are looking at is having a substantive ZIFA board running the affairs of the football. If you ask me today, I would have a situation, because I feel FIFA being the custodians of the game at the global level, they have powers maybe to say, okay, you guys on your own, you failed. We are sending experts to help you align your constitution with modern day football, to help you come up with the right structures, what is needed to be done, which is in line even with how they disperse funds, which is in line with their development programs.
But Bevan, FIFA can't micromanage, the nations that are failing to manage themselves.
They can't is probably not. Is probably not how I would put it. They should not. They should not micromanage. But if need be, like is the case with Zimbabwe, I think they really need to micromanage, because we have people that are tasked to do simple
Bevan,
things that are failing.
I would ask this: where is the SRC in putting to task the the Normalization Committee to say, you guys.
But Val, the problem with SRC now, you are going to say government interference. Are you Val? But listen, when they meddled,
but they're not meddling anymore.
Val, as you put it,
you are saying they should just sit back.
Val,
what are they do? What is their mandate?
Val, as you put it,
what is their mandate?
As you put, to borrow your word, you said SRC meddled, and it resulted in the suspension. And what they're saying now, we don't want
by suspending other people. What we are
by
saying
suspending other people, which led to suspension of Zimbabwe from FIFA.
What I'm saying is, why don't you meddle to do the correct things to say?
But
guys,
to do the correct thing and get us suspended again.
No, we won't be suspended if they are going to demand, the right for us.
From whom? To demand from whom?
Okay, let me remind you of what the SRC did when we got suspended. They said we don't care how long it will take for Zimbabwean football in the doldrums, as long
it took two excruciating years.
Exactly.
And
so
now they know
care now?
We care because we have got an experience of how excruciating the years were. And you are the one who
So why are we not?
You are the one who earlier on said we lost a whole generation. They cannot sacrifice another generation.
No, now this is not how they think. These guys, they showed us that they don't care.
They didn't care up until now.
That's why I said, I always maintain, this was not about football. It was characters that were involved.
But Val, are you saying before their intervention, our football was okay?
Gentlemen.
Before the intervention,
gentlemen,
I said we could have solved our problems.
Our
problems, we could have solved them without a ban.
This needs another podcast so that you can vent out your frustrations. What we've just noted is that there's no roadmap. I understand the elections will failed. The elections will be in November or December. And
time is flying.
And we're using the same constitution.
And if these guys come back, and if these same guys come back, what do you do?
Which same guys?
That will cause, because you're bringing the same system.
No, I understand. I just wanted you to be specific. When you say these guys, which guys?
All right.
The Felton Kamambo.
Come on.
They might come back.
They might not. Hell will freeze. Hell will freeze before that happens.
Okay, guys, I just had to mute their microphones. It's just getting ridiculous. Guys, can we now talk about the EPL and the fact that the top six the big six have made very few signings this season? What sort of impact would that have on the league?
Yeah, I think what we've got to understand is, whilst the game is changing and clubs need to sign, especially to maybe close the gap between them and Manchester City. Clubs, they need to utilize the windows, but it's not always that you just have to sign if it's not necessary for you to sign, because when you're signing players, you are addressing certain shortcomings that you have. If you've got a side that, for example, I'll give an example of your unfortunate team that I don't like. You really isn't.
Wait, what is Valentine doing?
I'm trying to look at the business that has been done.
Let him look. But I'm saying, if you look at your club, Liverpool, for example, I don't think there is much need for transfer activity, because
what do you mean?
No, I'll tell you what.
We need a number 6.
I said much.
That is much.
You may need probably to make 1 or 2 signings, right? And it's not like you've got a crisis of some sort to be that active on the transfer market. Unlike my team, where we need to correct a number of areas. So at the end of the day, I think for me, some clubs, they just need to utilize all the windows and not put themselves under necessary pressure, because you end up doing what was happening at Manchester United over the past years, whereby you're just going to buy players, probably some who are going to be sitting out on the bench, some whom are overpaid for nothing. Really.
That sounds like
this is why Santa, I'll respect Liverpool the way they are going about their business.
Yes.
Amongst the top 6 from last season, looking at the gap they were left with Liverpool finishing on 82 points, and that was 9 points behind the eventual winners, which is 3 games, 3 wins, really. And you say to yourself, Ancelot is coming in, and he doesn't want to make the mistakes that Manchester United.
Talk about Liverpool.
Yes, I'm giving you examples that Arsenal did when big names left. When Arsene Wenger left, the mistakes that Arsenal did, or the mistakes that Manchester United did when, say, Alex Ferguson left. And Liverpool, and Ancelot is saying, okay, let me first fully assess, this squad that I have, that I've inherited, all right, before I can plug, because what he will do is, after assessing, he will know where to plug and which player to get. And you might say, okay, Jurgen Klopp was struggling with maybe your holding midfielder or whatever, all right? Ancelot might be bringing a different system altogether. And you might realize, no, I might not need to even buy. All I need is to bring maybe a young Carvalho back, fit him into the system, and inform Harvey Elliott to grow and get Soboslai to live up to his expectations. Get also other fringe players within the ranks, Liverpool ranks, working. I'm not only going to focus on Liverpool. Let's talk about Arsenal. The gap.
Sorry, before you go.
The gap.
Before you
3
go,
points,
I will allow you to go. You know why I'm laughing?
Yes.
I love this optimism that you have. Hear me?
No, it's analysis.
Listen. Yes. You call it whatever you may. But hear me. I love that. Ask those who support Manchester United. Ask those who support Arsenal. You can use these 2 as examples. This optimism that you have. We had it.
No.
Wait till it has not. Listen.
You know what the advantage is, Bevan?
It has not kicked in.
No, you know what the advantage is.
You see, on the 10th we are having the community. There is what do they call it? Community shield. Then the next week the games are on. Wait till it kicks in. That's when you realize, okay, right now I know you are riding on a high horse because
ladies and gentlemen,
he has won all the friends.
What you are seeing on your screens right now are pictures from the match between Liverpool and Manchester United that were played on Sunday. And Liverpool beat Manchester United by 3-0. Yes, Casemiro was left crawling on the ground by young Carvalho, and this just tells you how fantastic this team is. Just a couple of more additions, you might see Liverpool contending for the title, and of course Manchester United contending for the Conference League as usual, as per usual. And as you can see, there was no Euro in the Manchester United team because he's injured for 6-7 months. We don't care. And then
who's we?
Everybody doesn't care. No one cares about Manchester United. Absolutely no one. Hey guys, can I tell you something? Do you realize? Let's talk about the squads. We're talking about the squads and how big they are, right? Can I tell you that Chelsea has 41 players? 41 squad members.
This is the headache that Maresca has. And
they're still signing.
And
is he the one?
I mean, Ted Boyley, he's got these loose hands in his pockets where he just wants to throw money everywhere and anywhere. And I don't know how he's going to work. He should learn from Manchester City how you buy clubs and keep players there.
No. Let's never use Manchester City as.
But having said that, let me go back to my analysis in terms of
Valentine. We're out of time.
Yeah. But when you look at Arsenal 3-point gap. Is California the answer? No, I don't think it's that big signing.
Wait, Arsenal
that is coming. Are they able to close the gap on Manchester City?
Wait, guys,
themselves. And you would think that a club like Arsenal would bring in 100 million kind of a player, to close the gap.
Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the depth. We just talked about Chelsea having 41 players. I think Arsenal has 24 squad members.
You see now,
their depth is just something else. I think 24, 28 for Manchester United, 30 for Liverpool and Tottenham, and then of course Ted Boehly and his clowns have 41. Which doesn't make any sense. But guys, thank you very much for joining us. Anyway, before we go, I think we got just 1 minute, guys. Your top 4 prediction. Let's start with Valentine.
For the English
EPL.
EPL. Obviously, I have Liverpool winning. Realistically, Manchester City will be in the thick of things. Arsenal, definitely, I think with Arteta there, they're in it with a shout. And for the fourth place now, this is the challenge because I'm looking at Tottenham. Can they pick themselves up? I will look at their signings, but I'm not totally impressed with the business that they've done. Aston Villa, I think it will be a distraction for them to be in the Champions League. And they've lost some influential players. Yes, they're trying to sign in, but no big names coming in. The Newcastle as well. I don't think they'll have the same pedigree that they've had over these years. Manchester United, I think with the business that they've done, they'll be hovering around 6th position roundabout there.
All right, okay, cool. Bevan? Quickly, Bevan, we don't have time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, for now, I don't think I'm in a position to make.
He can't even trust his own Manchester United.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, innocent though. Here's the thing.
We're out of time, Bevan.
But what I will tell you is Manchester United will make top 4. But the top 4, as in who wins, I'm not yet sure now. But Manchester United will be in the top 4.
Thank you very much for joining us, guys. Join us again next